Land reform policy is the changing of laws, regulations, or customs regarding land ownership. It is also the art of registering and identifying landowners, especially agricultural lands. Data from the Presidential Committee on Land Reform reveals that only 5% of land in Nigeria is currently covered by title, while 95% remain dead assets. With these developments, agri-experts say farmers cannot get access to credit and food insufficiency will continue to rise.
Basically, that our farmers are not benefiting from the land they have. The land is just a physical asset to them, it's not a financial asset to them. And in order to turn it to a financial asset to them, they must have title to it. I mean, in a simple language, because when we talk about title, simple language is like if you have a vehicle, you must license it. You have something to show that you are the owner of that vehicle. And that is what makes it easier for you to be able to sell it or to be able to lease it. It's the same thing with land. But we just have land in Nigeria, they are not registered and we cannot use it, as collateral or to lease it for loan and all that. The people that suffer most are the poor farmers.
Whether there is a mileage in that process, there is, because if you do secure these titles, then they could help you in, that becomes part of the collateral on lending from the banks or other financial institutions. But they will also improve food security in the sense that people who want to invest can actually invest could be free to invest their money.
Land titling on food security is something, if handled properly, will assist the subsistence farmer in order to be able to have access to credit.
The history of land ownership, utilization and development in Nigeria dates back to the pre-colonial era, when the customary land tenure existed. The customary land tenure was considered an impediment to agricultural development due to absence of secured, clearly defined property rights. The fact that agreements were made orally as opposed to writing meant there was high risk of parties not upholding their agreements and disputes arising when time and old age leads to loss of memory or death.
Like when you look at customary lands, these are lands that are held in customary terms. Those things should be able to be recognized in law, because when you go to your respective villages, everybody knows his father's land. That is land that has passed through generations upon generations. The law should be able to recognize those lands and be able to accord those lands the rightful title instruments.
As Nigeria works effortlessly to achieve a food-secured nation, experts say there is a need for government to look into the Land Use Act, as there are some provisions of the Act that have had unintended consequences and negative impact on the utilization of land and development of commercial agriculture in the country.
There is the dire need to amend that act, because presently when you look at investment in agriculture, another area that has actually affected it again is this issue of trying to get this title, because even when they give you this land, to perfect your document is a problem.
Many Nigerians, however, believe that land reform can mitigate food insecurity in Nigeria if well managed, while others are of the view that many farmers may lose their lands as they do not have the amount it takes to register these lands.
Registering a land in Lagos costs in millions. It's not in thousands. It costs between 6 to I don't know how many millions of naira. In Abuja, registering land in Abuja is in the also millions of naira.
It is expensive on the face of it, because we do need to encourage that process. If you reckon that 97% of the lands are not registered, then we should not be hoping to extract money from people who want to register their lands, but encourage them to register their land.
The point we are making is that majority of the farmers we're talking about don't have the land as their own land. So what do you register?
For a country like Nigeria to achieve food sufficiency, the expectation is that governments should make land available and affordable to all farmers. Ngozi, Onyejiaku, AIT News, Abuja.